Welcome to our presentation on religious emblems and how to incorporate them into your unit program. It is my hope today that you will learn something new and share that information about duty to God and religious emblems as critical advancement elements of Cub Scout adventure requirements, Scout Spirit requirements for Scouts BSA, and for the Venturing Trust Award. My name is Jason Noland, and I serve as the Executive Director for Programs of Religious Activities with Youth, or P.R.A.Y as we are commonly known. P.R.A.Y produces the curriculum and distributes the recognition for mainline evangelical and non-denominational Protestant traditions, as well as those for the Eastern Orthodox, Community of Christ, and First Christian Church Christ Scientist faith traditions. Recognizing that Scouting America's volunteers lead youth from many different houses of worship, it is important that P.R.A.Y also serves and develops interreligious materials to support leaders like yourselves in helping families fortify their scouting experience with the recognitions of their faith. As a scouting volunteer, I serve as the chair for religious emblems, awards, and literature development for the National Religious Relationships Committee of Scouting America. I am one of nearly 150 volunteers representing the 42 faith traditions recognized by Scouting America as faith partners. At home, I'm the Chartered Organization Representative for PAC 530, Troop 533, Troop 911G, and Crew 2973, chartered to the Harvester Lions Club in Harvester, Missouri. Duty to God has been a part of Scouting America from its beginning and is a primary tenet found in the oath and the law. In the Declaration of Religious Principle, Scouting America maintains that no member can grow into the best kind of citizen without recognizing an obligation to God. It is important to note that Scouting is non-sectarian and promotes no specific religion. Its policy is that faith formation begins in the home, and the faith tradition with which the member is connected shall give definite attention to religious life. These are the reasons why the oath opens with a commitment to God or possessing a belief in a higher power, and the law closes with reverent. A scout is reverent. They are reverent toward God and faithful in their religious duties while remaining respectful of others' beliefs in matters of custom and religion. Every Cub Scout rank has had a duty to God adventure. Discussion around faith at the den level can be polarizing. It's no different today than it was years ago when I served as a den leader. Most leaders avoided the requirement by asking the family to complete it at home and report back when it was completed. In the summer of 2024, the new Cub Scout handbooks were released. The new adventure is called Family in Reverence and will continue to feature first the option of completing the emblem of their faith to complete the requirement. Additional requirement options are offered as there is not an emblem for every program of Cub Scouts. In some faiths, there may only be one or two emblems for the Scouts to complete. These new options, beyond completing the religious emblem, helped create an atmosphere of sharing and learning about the customs and practices of their fellow den members, reinforcing the ideals of a scout is reverent. Since 2016, all Scouts BSA rank requirements ask Scouts to tell how you have done your duty to God through Scout Spirit requirements. The requirements do ask Scouts to reflect on their own belief related to the Scout Oath and Law as a monologue versus a dialogue. The requirement is complete once the Scout has told how he or she has done their duty to God. With young Scouts, this could be a very brief statement. As Scouts get older and their beliefs mature, this telling will evolve. The troop leader is there to listen, not to evaluate a scout's expression against any standard. In many troops, the scout leader and one or more of their scouts will have different religious beliefs, and that's perfectly fine. In fact, it's healthy. There is religious recognition in venturing also. To earn the Venturing Trust Award, it requires the crew member to complete the religious emblem of their faith. All faiths reinforce common themes found across scouting. For instance, variations on the Golden Rule. To Christians, that means do to others as you would have them do to you. From the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 31. For Buddhists, hurt not others with that which pains yourself. From the Sanskrit Udana Varga, verse 18. Or for Jewish adherents, what is hateful to yourself, do not do to your fellow man. That is the whole of the Torah. From the Babylonian Talmud, Shabbat 31a. Why are faith-based requirements and recognition important to scouting? Just some facts I'd like to share. According to past Scouting America BSA studies, young people who earn the religious emblem of their faith are registered longer in Scouting's programs. According to National Supply, the Universal Religious Square Knot for youth, the silver knot on purple cloth, is the most frequently purchased each year. 17% of Scouts have their first exposure to a house of worship through a Scout meeting, event, or service project. And as was noted in a recent AP News story, 42% of units in Scouting America are chartered to a faith-based organization. When factoring in faith-based organizations that hold a facility use agreement, the estimated number likely puts and increases those partners to more than 60%. Simply put, duty to God matters. The Religious Emblems programs are developed by the individual faith groups and their associations to encourage their members to grow stronger in their faith. Scouting America has approved of these programs and allows the emblems to be worn on the official uniform. But the emblems are administered by the various religious groups, not Scouting America. The standard recognition are medals, which are worn above the left pocket. The Scout leader is not necessarily the instructor for the religious emblems. These are enhancement programs. Parents, guardians, and caring adults will decide whether or not their Scout works on these recognitions. Parents and religious leaders should help a Scout earn the religious emblem of their faith. While this emblem can be earned in a small group or a class, this is not a badge necessarily to be earned together as a unit, because units are interreligious by nature, representing different faith traditions. These emblems are opportunities for Scouts and families to fortify their Scouting experience and to know their clergy better and to be more involved with their congregation or house of worship. Religious Emblems programs encourage youth to grow stronger in their faith, and those traditions incorporate study and recognition that aligns with milestones in their own faith journey, from kindergarten through high school or venturing. For Jewish youth, grades K through 1, the Aryeh emblem, which means lion in Hebrew, teaches Scouts to embrace Jewish life and practice. Cub Scout aged Muslim youth can earn the Bismillah emblem to advance and practice Islamic religious living. Webelos and Arrow of Light Protestants can earn God and Family, where they learn how to strengthen their families through faith. Scouts BSA aged Hindus can earn the Karma emblem, which explores the 4 sacred texts of Hinduism. And for older Catholic scouts and venturers, the Pope Pius XII emblem helps young people explore vocations in the Catholic Church. This is the Duty to God brochure. One way that scouts can show and express their duty to God is to earn the emblem of their faith and to wear the emblem on their uniform. Unit leadership can use the Duty to God brochure to identify the program for an individual's faith. This is a PDF document easily shared, and it contains information for the many faith traditions as well as active clickable links for the faith main contact, web address, and the emblems available to youth and awards for adults. It also contains a section of frequently asked questions that answer the most common questions regarding religious emblems. When one earns their religious emblem, they are also qualified to wear the universal religious square knot. Only by completing the religious emblems requirements of their faith will qualify them to wear the universal religious square knot. The knot cannot be earned or worn by completing a family and reverence adventure in Cub Scouts or sharing how they have done their duty to God requirements for rank advancement. Similar to the Arrow of Light and Eagle rank, this knot, the silver square knot on purple cloth, will always be on your uniform and can even be worn on the adult uniform. The other knot on your screen is the Adult Universal Religious Square Knot for adults. Like the District Award of Merit or Silver Beaver Award, it is presented by nomination of service to a faith tradition through Scouting. It requires tenure and activity. It will be discussed in depth later. There are 4 basic steps to get started on religious emblems programs. Step 1. Youth members should obtain the specific booklet for their faith tradition. Using the Duty to God brochure to identify the program for their faith, they can check with the council store or contact the religious organization directly. Each scout will need his or her own booklet to document progress. Some religions and faiths offer adult manuals for counselors, teachers, and parent or caring adult mentors as well. Step 2. Parents should review the program guidelines. Some programs and faiths will require participants to be official members of the religious institution. Age and grade requirements vary from program to program and should be reviewed first. Each program sets its own guidelines as to who may serve as counselor. Some programs will require clergy to serve as counselors or delegates such as religious educators or lay leaders. Again, recognizing that faith formation starts in the home, other faiths may be open to having parents serve as the teacher. Step 3. Families should talk to their clergy and share the booklet before beginning any program. Most programs require that they be completed under the auspices of that congregation and faith tradition. Many programs require the signature and endorsement of their local clergy. Step 4. The youth member needs to complete the requirements, obtain the proper signatures, and follow the instructions to order the emblem. These emblems are not available from your local council store. Only the Universal Religious Square Knots are. Recipients should follow the instructions in the booklet as they are administered by associations or faith traditions directly. The emblem should be presented in a meaningful ceremony, preferably in the Scouts' religious institution. It is not uncommon for emblems to be presented as part of Scouting's anniversary month, but these can be presented at any time of the year. Do not overlook the opportunity to also recognize the youth within the unit. Simply presenting the knot and describing the work involved as part of a court of honor or PAC meeting will motivate families to seek information about their own faith's emblem. A Scout is reverent, and adults are too. Many adult volunteers exceed the challenges to help Scouts in their house of worship on their own spiritual journey. Often overlooked are the opportunities to recognize adults for their faithful service to young people and the faith of the chartered partner. This happens with many different adult awards. For instance, it is not uncommon for a non-Jewish member to receive their adult award, the Shofar Award, for service and leadership to Jewish youth through Scouting activities. In the case of adults connected to Lutheran units, there are two different awards. The Lutheran Lamb recognizes Lutheran adults for service to their congregation, Lutheran Scouts, and Scouting units, while the Lutheran Servant of Youth Award recognizes volunteer service by non-Lutherans to Lutheran Scouts and Scouting units. The nomination process for adult awards does vary among the many religious institutions and associations. The awards, however, are not earned like the youth emblems. Adults must be nominated. The awards can require a minimum number of years of service, completed nomination forms, resumes of Scouting's activities, and letters of recommendation from the Scout unit, district, or council and religious institution. Self and spouse nominations will not be accepted. Forms and instructions are available through the individual religious body or faith organization linked on the Duty to God brochure shared previously. Religious Emblems Coordinators are official Scouting America positions that exist at the council, district, and unit levels. RACs, as they are called, are responsible to encourage all youth to earn the emblem of their faith, promote religious emblems usage like Scouting promotes other youth advancement, and establish goals and track the number of religious emblems to be completed every year. The Religious Emblems Coordinator should work closely with the district or the unit committee, but recognize the primary function is to serve the faith community through the promotion of religious emblems. The coordinator should be able to promote all religious emblems regardless of their own specific religious affiliation, as these programs are developed and administered by the faith communities, not by Scouting America. The coordinator does not need to be a religious professional, minister, or member of the clergy. Their role is administrative and promotional, parallel to a merit badge coordinator. A district religious emblems coordinator is a volunteer leader within Scouting America who is appointed by the district program chair to promote and expand the use of the religious emblems programs throughout the district. This individual acts as a liaison between the council and the individual troop, PAC, or crew coordinators. Key responsibilities of the district religious emblems coordinator include disseminating information about the various emblems and associated activities, retreats, or classes to all units within the district. Encouraging every unit to appoint its own coordinator and helping those unit level volunteers recruit counselors and presenters, including clergy or lay leaders who wish to work with the Scouts. Working with the district program chair, they should help to establish goals and track the number of emblems completed each year, similar to how other advancement programs are tracked. Serving as a primary point of contact for unit religious emblems coordinators and the council religious emblems coordinator as well. Finally, district recs can work to educate leaders, scouts, and families about the program's requirements and the emblems available for different faiths. A unit religious emblem coordinator is a volunteer who serves on a unit committee and promotes the religious emblems program to the youth in their unit. This position involves serving as a liaison to the district coordinator to help facilitate emblems advancement, much like a merit badge coordinator does for merit badges. This position is especially important in those units chartered to faith-based organizations and meeting through faith-based facility use agreements, where part of the outreach may be to encourage youth to explore their own faith. The core purpose of the role is to ensure all youth members have the opportunity to earn the religious emblem of their faith, thereby affirming their duty to God. Unit Religious Emblems Coordinator will also inform youth and families about the emblem program and their availability, understanding of the impacted advancement and requirements, again encouraging all youth to earn the emblem of their faith. Serving as that liaison between the unit and district religious emblem coordinator, disseminating the information about religious emblems events like retreats, camps, or classes. The unit religious emblem coordinator position is distinct and different from a unit chaplain, who focuses on the overall spiritual well-being of the unit and interfaith opportunities, though both roles support duty to God. Again, it's important to note that research indicates that scouts who complete their religious emblem tend to stay in scouting longer, making this position important for retention and strengthening the relationships with faith-based chartered partners and facility use organizations. Developed by the Emblems Awards and Literature Committee, this 4-minute video on religious emblems programs outlines the steps and highlights resources for promotion at the council, district, and unit level. You will recognize much of the content from today's presentation. Let's take a few minutes to see this video and identify ways you can incorporate it into your unit's activities. A scout is reverent. They are reverent toward God. They are faithful in their religious duties and respect the convictions of others in matters of custom and religion. Since Scouting America's beginnings, faith and duty to God have been significant components of one's journey throughout the programs. It is no less important today as advancement in Cub Scouts, Scouts VSA, and venturing have requirements that fulfill the words of Scouting's founder. This journey aligns with reverent, the 12th point of the Scout Law, and the duty to God promise of the Scout Oath. To encourage members to grow stronger in their faith, faith traditions and associations have developed religious emblems programs. These recognitions are created by the associated religious groups to inspire their youth to grow stronger in their faith. The religious groups not Scouting America have created these emblem programs themselves. Scouting America approves these programs and welcomes the emblems on the official uniform. Representing many faith traditions, from the African Methodist Episcopal Church to Zoroastrianism, earning a religious emblem fortifies that advancement into something personal, deeper, and more meaningful. Religious emblems encourage scouts, venturers, and adult volunteers to strengthen their faith-based journey within Scouting. The steps to earn and complete a religious emblem are similar regardless of the faith tradition. First, youth members or their parents must obtain the specific age or grade appropriate booklet for their faith. Second, parents, guardians, or other caring adults should review the specific guidelines for their program. In most faiths, you're required to be a member to earn the emblem of that tradition. Third, families should talk with their clergy, religious educators, or emblem counselors and share the booklets before starting any program. Finally, the youth member needs to complete the requirements, obtain the proper signatures, and follow instructions to order the emblem or award online or via U.S. mail. For all members, the Universal Religious Knot, a silver square knot on purple cloth, may be worn by both youth and adult members who were recognized with their religious emblem as a youth, regardless of when it was earned. An Adult Religious Recognition Award is presented by nomination only. This award is presented to worthy adults for their outstanding service to youth, both through their religious institution and Scouting America. For adults, the Universal Religious Knot is the reverse, a purple square knot on gray cloth. The Duty to God brochure shown here is your source for information and includes web links to the faith partners of Scouting America. All faiths represented have emblems or medals that should be worn as part of the official uniform and are appropriate for events. To learn about religious emblems in general, or the emblem and award of your faith, you can find the brochure and much more about Scouting's connection by searching Duty to God at scouting.org, dutytogodbsa.org, or on Facebook at Duty to God BSA. Thank you so much for your attention and interest in how religious recognitions fit into advancement programs and as part of your unit. This screen will remain open for several minutes after the presentation is complete. Please feel free to take a picture of the screen or write down what information you need. These are the resources that were mentioned today. The Duty to God brochure for families and religious emblem coordinators. At the time of the Scout Spirit addition to Scouts BSA requirements, Aaron on Scouting published an article to help leaders and parents understand how a Scout would tell about their duty to God. It is very helpful and informative even today. Just viewed is the Religious Emblems promotion video. It is available as a link to be shared or to be downloaded for presentation. P.R.A.Y is committed to serving as an inter-religious resource for Scouting America. The fourth link provided is to the P.R.A.Y Search by Faith tool. When opened, all a volunteer needs to enter are keywords from their faith and either a link to visit the appropriate association or information about their emblems will appear. This works for adult awards as well. Finally, there's more information to share at the P.R.A.Y Scouting America microsite, including training and support for religious emblems coordinators at all levels of the organization. Of course, if you have further questions or just need help, please reach out to me personally. Again, my name is Jason Noland with P.R.A.Y Publishing. We're open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Central Time and can be reached at 314-845-3318. My inbox is always open at jason.n@praypub.org. Thank you and good scouting.